Our next guest is also going to spark some joy. She's a familiar face for Seattle sports fans. Jen Mueller is a longtime broadcaster and producer for Root Sports. And of course, when she's not in the press room, you can find her often in her own kitchen. She is now marrying her two passions, sports and cooking, with a new show called I Cook, You Measure. Welcome to New Day, Jen. We are so happy to have you.
Thank you.
Especially because you brought wine.
Well, I always cook with wine.
I love
why
it.
wouldn't we be cooking with wine?
Cheers to you.
I mean, we're sipping this, right?
Yeah. Okay. That's delicious.
Washington
that is a delicious wine.
Yeah.
I kind of love a Washington wine.
I love Washington wine. I love Washington wine paired with the food that I'm cooking. It's kind of making it regional. And I love that. So,
what are we cooking today?
We're going to cook easy chicken cordon bleu. Now, most of the time, chicken cordon bleu
is not easy.
It's not easy because it's wrapped. It does have cheesy goodness in the middle of it, but today, this is a time-saving recipe. So we're going to start with some chicken cutlets that have already been breaded. Oh, by the way, I love the fact that you have a glass of wine in your hand, but you are the guest measure today.
Oh, I am measuring.
This is how this works.
Oh, okay.
I cook,
I measure.
you do the measuring.
I'll put my glass down.
So, here's what I'm going to need you to do. We have already started a tablespoon of oil and a tablespoon of butter in the pan.
All right.
We have dredged chicken. If you don't know how to dredge chicken, all we did was coat it with a little bit of flour, salt, and pepper.
Did you put egg on it? Like, did you use that, or did you
No.
just... Okay,
that's why it's even easier than that. So if you would put these into the skillet.
All right, I can do that. I can do that. How long did you... Now, you also pounded this chicken, am I right?
I did. So I got chicken cutlets. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you get chicken breast at the store, cut it into half and make cutlets, and get the mallet out of your toolkit outside.
Like in my toolbox?
Yeah. It is so satisfying. I know that you could have like a meat,
I have
like
a chicken mallet.
No.
You want me to get the rubber mallet?
Yes.
Okay.
Now I want you to cover it, with plastic wrap first.
Right, because we don't need
salmonella
all over the kitchen.
Satisfying to do that.
You know what? And then you don't get the little holes in it. I think that's a great idea.
No, it's perfect. We're going to let that chicken cook over there. We also have some finished chicken over here, and this sauce is going to come together super fast.
All right,
so,
it's time for me to measure.
It is time for you to measure. What we have here is a cup of water.
Cup of water.
I'm going to have you put 1 teaspoon of our Better Than Chicken bouillon stock.
This is great. This means, you don't have to keep big old jars of chicken stock around the house. You can just get one of these and make your own bouillon any day.
Yep. And I mean, I'm glad that you're going to measure it exactly.
Because that's how I roll.
I generally put like a scoop in there. Oh, yeah. See, that's exactly what I would do. Yep.
Yeah, I'm just going to get it in there, get it off.
That's right. So then you're going to do about a half a tablespoon of the Dijon mustard.
Half a tablespoon of Dijon mustard.
Give or take. And this, when you are cooking, I always follow recipes, right? Because my skill is cooking, not creating the recipe.
Yes.
So we're following a Skinnytaste recipe that I know works. If you know that you like Dijon mustard, great. It doesn't have to be exact.
Okay.
Anything
I love
with
Dijon
spices.
mustard. Sorry, I'm fighting with this.
When you bake, it is a different story. It needs to be... this is real life cooking right here.
I'm really struggling.
This is really what happens.
This is for real.
It's exactly what happens.
So how am I doing compared to the other guests on your show with the measuring? Am I more ingenuitive or less? Is that a word?
I'm going to call it a word. You know what I would say here? Hand me those. You take this.
Yep.
Now what I want you to do is put I want you to juice a little bit of lemon.
Okay.
We're going to add about a tablespoon of lemon.
All right. 1 tablespoon of lemon.
1 tablespoon of lemon.
Now I love some lemon.
Okay, you can add a little more if you want.
All right, and now I just mix it all up.
You're going to mix that up, and I will help you with just a little bit of this.
Oh, a little
which
flour?
Which is flour, because we're going to thicken it. Okay.
This one you didn't measure that. You just just eyeballed it.
I eyeballed it because what would really happen if we were making this as a one-pan meal, which is what it is designed to do. We would brown the chicken for 2 minutes on either side. We would put it aside on a plate, and then I would use that exact same pan that already has some flour in it, that already has some stuff. So we're just kind of, we're just like doing this. We're making a giant mess. Also, what I tend to do in the kitchen. But if I'm drinking wine, I'm a little less concerned about it.
I don't care about it.
Okay, here we go.
All right, so I pour this in here?
Yep.
Ooh, okay. We got it a little more.
That's a little sizzle. Okay.
All right.
We're going to do it like this.
Can I ask, how does a sports broadcaster create a cooking show, and where do you see this cooking show?
So the cooking show is going to be on YouTube, and it is kind of just a passion project for mine. I didn't intend to start doing as much cooking online as I do. It was part of a pandemic thing.
Really?
Right? So I would post pictures of what I cook. I have always cooked. I grew up in a household where my mom cooked every night. So it's something that I've done, but when you start posting pictures, now people start asking questions.
And then you've got some guests that look pretty familiar.
They're really fun. It's my way of combining sports, food, and wine, and they can measure whether they know how to cook or not. So it's part cooking instruction. Some of these guys don't know how to cut an onion or don't know how to measure. They are so amazed that measuring cups come in a set. Right? Like, they're like, you have all the measuring cups. I'm like, they come in a set. It really wasn't that difficult, you know? But you're introducing them to different things, and we're telling stories. Did you want to be stirring, by the way?
Yes, I will do whatever you want me to do.
So if you stir this lightly, what should happen is...
It should start to thicken up?
It should start to thicken up here in a couple of minutes because we added
more
some flour to that.
Okay. So we're making kind of like a roux, but like with...
It's like a buttery lemon sauce, you know?
It smells really good. This is really good. Tell me about some of your guests. Who've been your like highlight guests, favorite guests, fun guests?
Well, it has been super fun to talk to a number of my athletes. Neiko Thorpe makes me laugh so hard. And let me tell you a little bit behind the scenes. So Neiko was one of my special teams guys when he was with the Seahawks. So one of my go-tos all the time. Now he is part of the Seahawks coaching staff. He and I were in Germany together. And we're having a beer in Germany for the Seahawks game, right? And I'm saying, hey, would you like to do the show? Sure. I throw out a couple of ideas of what we could cook. Let me just tell you, he failed to tell me what he does not eat.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Literally, first thing I ask him to do is to cut an onion, to which he says, I don't really like onions.
Oh, wow.
But I'll do it for the show.
This is all on the show. Fantastic.
So we laughed all the way through that one. Abe Lucas learned what chilaquiles were.
Oh, really?
And Tariq Woolen is a big fan of baked French toast.
Oh, I baked French toast.
Baked French toast.
Can we make that next time?
We can totally do that with some bubbles. That was what we paired with it.
Perfect. It's like brunch.
It is.
All right. We're about out of time, but I want to just I know we got to kind of move through this
Well, here's
quickly.
what we're going to do. We're going to put this in there.
Okay.
So just use your tongs.
Yes, ma'am. Use my tongs. And then what?
Put one piece of ham and one piece of cheese over the top of that.
All right. Can I use my fingers?
Absolutely.
I did wash my hands.
Absolutely.
All right. Here we go. One piece of ham. One piece of cheese. Is this Swiss?
It is Swiss.
Okay. It's very key. You got to have the right taste in cheese. All
exactly.
Right.
Sprinkle a little Parmesan. Sprinkle a little parsley.
Parsley. Okay.
On the top.
All right.
That gets melty goodness and you're done.
And that's it.
That's it.
I love this. This is so easy. Okay, this is
You will be
really
eating this
easy.
afterwards, and it pairs nicely with our Chardonnay that is lightly oaked, so it doesn't mess with the acidity of this. It's just a nice,
Girl knows her stuff.
You know.
I love
I
it.
spend
All
a lot
right.
of time drinking and cooking. What can I say?
And you give back as well on your show.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this because sports brings people together, food brings people together. So for every episode of the show, I make a donation to a nonprofit working to end food insecurity in the community. Our new presenting sponsor, Ascend Hospitality Group, is going to match that donation so that we can double our impact, and I'm super proud of that.
Cheers to that. Thank you, Jen. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much. This has been so much fun. And of course, we have a link to the show on our website, so check that out. Meantime, an up